So the image you're looking at was shared by the Chinese media as authorized by the Chinese Communist Party, and it went kind of viral slightly in the China space on Twitter. And what it basically says is this alliance that Russia and China has apparently formed, that the hug between Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin matter because it is an alliance with the capability of finally defeating the United States. And the way they say that it'll defeat the United States, this alliance, is because they can totally avoid the U.S. Navy, which is the major projection of U.S. combat power. It is something that is virtually unassailable by any other country in the world. And so they say the way that they can do that is using their superior ground forces. And by superior, they really mean just lots of people. And then they would cross over into Alaska, through Canada, down to the United States. And I don't understand where this comes from, how they can be so unfailingly stupid when it comes to things like this. It's like they think that the map looks like this. This is just all they got to do is get to Alaska somehow, and then drive on down to, they can just cross over here and then drive on down into the US, and then you're done. Like that's what they actually think that, apparently. However, as we all know, this is what the terrain actually looks like. This is what it looks like trying to get into Alaska down to the United States from Russia. This is the water in between those two countries. So they'd have to basically cross the intersection between the Bering Sea and the Chukchi Sea, which is right here. That's the closest point that Alaska and Russia have to each other. So this is likely where they would try to cross, right here. Furthermore, it is 50 miles across. You're just going to cross over 50 miles of ocean, and the U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force isn't going to have any say in it. So you're just going to plop this graphic out there as if, oh yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. Not thinking about the fact that you're having to cross in an amphibious landing this amount of ocean, 50 miles of it, into Alaska. And then what? What do you do when you land in like Wales, Alaska? You're just going to, oh yeah, we're just going to kind of hop down and take out the Americans and the Canadians. That's totally what's going to happen. There's no road that you can get from Wales to Seattle. I Googled it, and maybe Google is wrong. They have been on occasion, but Google Maps is generally pretty smart. So when you try to Google the directions from Wales, Alaska to Seattle, or vice versa, there's no way to do it. They couldn't calculate the directions. There's no roads. But let's just say, for argument's sake, we do it from Anchorage. From Anchorage to Seattle. You got to cross, in a normal car, not military vehicles, 41 hours of driving that is about 2,264 miles. Where's your logistics coming from? Because I can tell you, you're going to need fuel about every 300 or so miles on these vehicles, if not more. So we're talking huge amounts of logistics stops, huge amounts of logistics capability pre-staged or moving in along the route, as if the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Air Force, the Canadian military, etc. doesn't exist. Never mind, again, you can't get to anywhere from up here to down here according to Google Maps. But their tactical vehicles just go across the terrain, yeah. Do you know what these mountains look like? These are some of the biggest mountains in the world. It's just super unrealistic, and I can't fathom where these ideas come from. But let's say they can make the drive. They have pre-positioned logistics stationed offshore, ready to resupply at a moment's notice inland, 100 to 500 miles from the ocean. These are the U.S. bases in Alaska: Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Fort Wainwright, the other Air Force Base, Allison Air Force Base. They are going to get a say. And Elmendorf has these nasty bad boys that you think you're just going to stroll on by. They're not going to destroy everything that comes in their proximity. I mean, do you even think about the fact that the Alaskan people themselves are heavily armed, and you're just going to walk through their neighborhoods and it'll be totally fine? Never mind the fact that once you cross out of the United States, you go into Canada, and the road roughly runs like this. And it looks like you're running across many, many regular force bases, reserve forces, Canadian Rangers, the Canadian populace, and once again, oh yeah, a huge amount of really, really difficult terrain to cross. But let's say you do it. You get to Seattle. Nice job. You made it to Seattle. You have officially invaded the mainland US, the contiguous lower 48, so to speak. There's another massive base here. Naval, Air Force, Army base, all those are all there. But this isn't America. This is just a part of it. This is America. So here you are in Seattle, and now you got a pissed off hornet's nest of all of this coming your way to absolutely wipe you off the face of the earth. And every freaking naval force that the US has is coming to wipe you off the face of the earth. Oh yeah, and Canada's angry too. They're coming to destroy your logistics lines. And this is if we have no other NATO allies involved. Just putting arrows like this, saying, oh yeah, we're totally going to join forces and cross the Bering Sea into Alaska, and it's just going to be a nice casual stroll down there and take over the US. That's what they basically said in China and Russia, as if it's a truth. Unbelievable nonsense is what it is. And this is why I consistently tell people I am not one bit scared of the Chinese and Russian military, because this is the type of things that their people truly believe can't happen.